Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hole in One Show podcast. I am your host, Dave Schultz. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the podcast. We're going to continue on, and each season will have 6 episodes, and so we're into Season 2 already. We had a test run of 6 episodes, then we had a full Season 1, and we are just starting Season 2. With that said, I want to talk about an extended partnership that we have. The show has with PXG. PXG is a big sponsor of the television show. The winner of each episode on the TV show wins a brand new putter, and the winner of the entire season of the show wins a brand new set of PXGs. And now PXG is going to be the title sponsor of the Hole in One Show podcast. So that's fantastic. We are going to have a trivia piece to the pod every single week. We are going to share that at the beginning of the second segment. And the winner, the first to email me at dschultzgolf@gmail.com, dschultzgolf@gmail.com. The first to answer that question correctly will win a brand new hat from PXG and a dozen PXG golf balls. So thank you to PXG for stepping up behind the podcast as well as the TV show. And we're going to have trivia every show. And the trivia question will be at the beginning of the second segment. Another sponsor of the show we want to highlight, 32customs.com. Go to 32customs.com. This is really cool. Check out these custom ferrules. This North Dakota-born business is changing the game when it comes to the end of your golf club. No longer do you need to sleep your way through a boring old black ferrules at the end of your club. Get your favorite design, your favorite team, your favorite color, anything to spruce up the end of your golf club. Go to 32customs.com and enter promo code HIOSHOW to get 25% off your purchase. Let me say it again. 32customs.com, promo code HIOSHOW, and show up to the tee in style. Big thanks to those guys over there for being a part of the Hole in One Show, and we're going to continue on. It's fun to have some sponsors and some support for the show. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in and checking it out. Now, Gridiron Golf will be the second segment of the show. Casey Crumwoody returns. We're going to check our leaderboard. For those of you who don't know, that we make picks every week. 3 picks. We have a birdie pick, an eagle pick, and a double eagle pick. And we either go over par or under par with our picks. Let's just say we need to make a little comeback on the back nine. Casey had a good week, and we'll go through that. But I had a tough week. Tough week. I'm loving the Frogs too much, and apparently they have a little national championship hangover. What I talk about in this first segment, it's just going to be me and you here. I want to talk about the Korn Ferry Tour Championship. Now, those of you who don't know my background in professional golf, I played 3 years on the Korn Ferry Tour, 2008, 2009, and 2010. Now, my best year was in 2009. I actually started the year with not very good status, but was able to work my way into a tournament in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Now, after 3 rounds at the Scarlet Course in Columbus, Ohio, one of the toughest golf courses we play on that tour at the time, I was 13 under par and had a 3-shot lead. Third place was Derek Lamley at 7 under and Ricky Fowler at 7 under. I was 6 shots clear of third place. Now, I had talked with my parents, my dad, the entire way through the week, like, hey, you're going to come out? I'm playing well. It'd be really fun to have you here, watch the weekend. He's like, I can't make the weekend, but if you play well Saturday, I'll show up and come out Sunday. Well, I shoot a low round Saturday. I'm leading by 3, and as I'm walking to the tee on Sunday, Dad shows up, family shows up, loud as ever, excited to be there, and I'm just like, oh no, this is not good. This is the wrong place, wrong time to be hoorah, and I can't stop it because they're excited, and I'm like, everything the first 3 days is just out the window. Like, my blood is rushing to my head. Things are happening fast. Long story short, I shoot 41 on the front 9 and end up shooting 77 in the final round and finish third place. Now, for those of you who understand professional golf, it's those moments where you have an opportunity to get to the next level. It's not about finishing 30th every week. That ain't going to do it. It's when you're near the lead, you got to capitalize and you got to get it done. And so that was a huge opportunity for me that week, and I squandered it. It was tough it's tough to even look back on now. I mean, I love how life has worked out, married 3 kids, love my job and everything. Like, life is good. But at 26 years old, you're just absolutely heartbroken because you know it was your shot. The reason I bring this up is we had the Korn Ferry Tour Championship this past week. And I want to go through how difficult it is to make it and the different things that can keep you from getting your PGA Tour card. The next week on tour for me back in 2009 went to Wichita. And still playing great. I just had an out-of-body experience on Sunday the week before, but the game is still there. So I find myself in the final group going into the final round, and I'm on the back nine on Sunday. Tied for the lead. On the 14th hole, par 5, straight dogleg right. Like it hit 3-wood to the corner, it turned straight left, and that day, that final round, I had a 4-iron in, and I'm tied for the lead. Hit the 4-iron up there to 18 feet. Hit a rope. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. We're walking up the fairway, and a rules official comes down from the hill up on the right and goes, "You guys are on the clock." And we're like, "What?" No warning, no nothing. You guys are on the clock. And I'm like, look at the other guys in my group, like, what's going on? It's not a TV week. Golf Channel isn't here, so there's no hard finish. We're in the final group. Where's the fire? Now, this is where I turn internally and be like, you know what? I handled this the wrong way. I didn't say anything to the rules official. I just handled it the wrong way. Internally, I was boiling. In that moment, I'm like, we're coming down the stretch. Why am I getting put on the clock? This is ridiculous. I get up to this 18-foot putt for eagle, and I charge it 10 feet by. You know where I'm going here. I missed the comebacker. I make par on the 14th. We turn around, we play the par 4 15th, make par. We get to the 16th hole, and we wait. The group in front of us was in the fairway. So maybe we were completely out of position on the 14th hole, but I'm 16 tee box, and the group in front of me, they're still in the fairway. Got a chance to collect my thoughts, hit a good tee shot, hit it up there to 12 feet, make the putt for birdie. Super pumped about that. Parred 17, and now we're on 18. Hit a driver in the middle of the fairway, par 5, sitting there with a hybrid in, second shot. Jason Housey, who's now a tour rep for TaylorMade, is on the bag that week. And Chris Tidlin was playing in the group in front of us. And Chris Tidlin had like a 30-footer from the front right of the green to the back right hole location. Chris makes this big putt. Huge reaction. And I look at Jason, I go, was that for birdie or for eagle? Because we didn't know. The leaderboard was up by the green, and it was pointed towards the green, and it's not like we had Golf Genius back then. We had no idea, if that was for birdie or for eagle. We knew we were tied going into that hole, but we weren't sure if that was birdie or eagle. He said, I think it was birdie. So I hit my hybrid up there, hit a great shot to about 25 feet, pin high left, had a look at eagle myself. We walk up to the green, we turn around the leaderboard. We're like, that was an eagle putt for Tidlin. Huge finish. Made an eagle on the last hole. Credit to him. Awesome. So now I'm over this putt, and I know I need to make this putt. And I just missed it on the top side. I mean, it just slipped out. Went to about a few inches behind the hole. I tap in for birdie, and I finished tied for second. So in Columbus, tied for third. Wichita the next week, tied for second. 2 near misses in a row. Now, the reason I bring this up is that rules official on the 14th hole, Mr. Jim Duncan, is the same rules official that handed down a 2-shot penalty for Shad Tootin in the final round of the Tour Championship for the Korn Ferry Tour. On the 15th hole, it was picked clean in place, and he put the ball down, and the ball rolled forward. He picked the ball up, moved it a few inches, and put the ball back down. Now, the rule states you put the ball down, and it rolls forward or rolls anywhere, you need to pick it back up and put it back on that same exact spot. The ball rolled forward. He picked it up, moved it 3 inches. He gets to the end of the day. He makes bogey on the last hole. He probably thought he missed his card, but he was actually in the 30th and final spot qualifying for the PGA Tour. And it was only at that time that it was shared with him because of that. It was caught on camera. Because of that, he went from 30th to 32nd and missed out on getting his PGA Tour card. Absolutely heartbreaking for this guy. And I'm not saying this about Jim Duncan. He's a great guy. When I saw the interview with Jim, I thought to myself, it just reopened wounds. I was like, no. And it reminded me of like, no, that was the guy who put us on the clock in the last round of Wichita. And trust me, I'm over it. But it's just an interesting connection to, oh, it's Jimmy. And I asked Jimmy the next year, like, why'd you put us on the clock there in Wichita? And he's just doing his job. And that's not my point today. My point is, like, it's so tough to make the tour. And when it comes down to that sort of thing, people who are sort of into the game of golf, or even those that love it, they'll look at the rules and be like, this is wrong. This doesn't make sense. There was no competitive advantage made or gained by moving the ball from here to here, and it completely changes the guy's life. Plus, it was caught on camera, which what percentage of players in the field are on camera? It's the guys, near the top of the leaderboard. What's the fairness in that? My question is, for professional golf, you're going to get people who love the game or think it's BS. You're going to have people who sort of like the game that get turned away because the rules they're a little lengthy, and it's a little bit, they look at a situation like this and it doesn't make sense. There was no advantage given, no advantage gained. My question is, when something's caught on camera, you have rules officials on site. And right now, it's clearly to just go by the book. I get it. Okay, I get it. But you have umps in baseball calling balls and strikes. You have referees in basketball and football making judgment calls. Why are rules officials at the highest level not given the opportunity? Let's say it's a situation where something's caught on camera. How come the full rules officials in professional golf can't make a decision based on a competitive advantage gained or some sort of like reality check here? I understand that's what the rule says. It tastes terrible. It's a terrible look for the game. Jim Duncan is a great guy. Hold no grudges. He's explaining the rule to a T. In other words, he's doing his job perfectly. Why is he in that position? I guarantee you, if he had the leeway of making a judgment call in that moment, I guarantee you Shad Tootin is going to the PGA Tour. I guarantee you. I get frustrated, and it's tough because it's so hard to make it. It is so hard to make it. And look, I didn't handle my family coming to the tee, the first tee in Columbus, Ohio, very well. That's my own fault. I don't deserve the PGA Tour. I was put on the clock, and it wasn't me being put on the clock. It was how I handled it. I three-putted from 18 feet. Come on, man. That's on me. But if I'm Shad Tootin, I'm like, dude, it was pick clean in place. The ball rolled forward. I picked it back up, and I moved it right there. Like, I guarantee you the guy who's now finished 30th on the list, he's not like, he can't honestly say that Shad gained any competitive advantage by moving the ball 2 inches. It's tough. I mean, it's tough to make it at the highest level. Shout out to Paul Barjan. He's a TCU Frog. He won the tournament. He went from outside the top 30 to now he's got his PGA Tour card. He went out and got it done. It's just it's fun watching the Korn Ferry Tour. I think the Korn Ferry Tour and Monday qualifiers are just as, if not more, fun for somebody that's been there to follow it, because you know what these guys are going through. Every single one of those guys coming down the stretch on this past Sunday was feeling it on every single shot. Plus, they're playing at a golf course in Indiana that is absolutely brutal. And pars down the stretch are good on a normal day. And with all the, with everything on the line, it's great reality television. So if you haven't watched any Korn Ferry Tour, I'm telling you, definitely near the end of the season, you had to do it. And unfortunately, if you tune in on Sunday, and even if you didn't, this is getting a lot of play on Twitter or Twix or X or whatever it's called. It's getting a lot of play. And, it's tough to see somebody miss their chance at PGA Tour because of that. So, I just wanted to touch on that because it strikes a chord at home, and it was interesting seeing Jimmy being the one having to stand up there and give the ruling, which is not a fun place, not a fun position to be in. So, congrats to the 30 guys that did get their tour card, even the guy that went from outside to in with that. Good luck to you. You're about to live a dream, and for many of them, they're returning to the PGA Tour, which is a pretty cool way to make a living. Now, so our next segment, It's Gridiron Golf. We bring back in Casey Crumwoody. We're going to go through our scores. We're going to go through our picks this week and PXG trivia right at the beginning of the second segment, right after this.
Any bank can tell you they have a rock-solid commitment to agriculture. Bell can prove it. To this day, every Bell Bank branch is partially built with rocks we've picked from our founder's farm. But our roots in ag have grown more than a few offices. They've shaped who we are and formed our entire approach to banking. Let us prove it to you as you grow your farm and prepare your legacy for the next generation. Bell Bank, committed to ag.
Golf to me is patience.
It's weird to say, but golf is life.
It is. It's the ultimate game of life.
You know, it's an individual sport.
You have to put in a lot of work to get minimally better. And that's kind of the beauty of it. You come back to improve.
That's why I love golf, is just every shot is different.
That next round, that next shot, you know, it could be that start of a story.
I don't even want to say a game. It's more than a game.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hole in One Show podcast. I've calmed down, I think. Oh, gosh. When I saw Jimmy on there, I was like, oh, man, so opening scars. I'm like, I cannot believe I didn't close the deal with those two tournaments. But all right, well, I digress. All right, here's a trivia question. Here's the PXG trivia question. Now, if you want to win this trivia question, first of all, you got to be the first one to email me the correct answer at dschultzgolf@gmail.com. And you're going to have to do a little research, Hole in One Show research. Here's the trivia question. Where in the college football world, where did our co-host here for Gridiron Golf, where did he play a road game earlier this year? Where did he go and watch college football? It was out of state. Very intriguing matchup. That's all the hint I'm going to give you. Where did Casey Crumwoody go watch a road game, watch a college football game out of state earlier this year? We've touched on it on the previous podcast. If you email me, first email me at dschultzgolf@gmail.com. We'll win a dozen PXG golf balls and a brand new hat. So there's your first trivia question. With that said, let's bring in the one we mentioned, Mr. Casey Crumwoody. Welcome back to the show. Here we go.
Let's go, Davey.
All right.
Another week.
Gridiron Golf. Now, let's recap what this game is. We pick 3 games each week, a birdie pick, an eagle pick, and a double eagle pick. If we get the birdie pick right, we go 1 under. Get it wrong, we go 1 over. Eagle, 1, you get it. So we're over and under par based on how we pick. We've done 6 picks total. We've done 2 weeks. And I want to recap last week's picks. I was +4 coming into the week. I missed my birdie pick, TCU. TCU lost to Iowa State. TCU has lost 4 of its last 7 games dating back to the national championship. It's tough. It's tough scene in Fort Worth right now. Colonial's closed. TCU's losing to Iowa State on the road. People are not having a good day. So I missed my birdie pick. I hit my eagle pick, which was OU, +6.5. That turned out to be, should have taken them on the money line for like a half shot. And then missed my double eagle pick for Minnesota. Whoa, did I miss the double eagle pick for Minnesota. I had Minnesota +19 at home against Michigan. Whoops. That'd be called a triple bogey. That's a triple bogey. So I went +2 last week, and now I'm +6 for the season. I missed my birdie. I missed my double eagle. I hit my eagle. So I was +2 last week. I'm +6 for the season and firmly in last place now. Because Casey, let's talk about your picks last week and how you did. You were +6 coming into the week. So you had a 0 for 3 week 1. You were +6 coming into the week. How'd you do?
Well, yeah, we struggled week 1, obviously. One thing I would say about fandoms here, though, you being TCU diehard, me being Nebraska diehard, I don't empathize one bit for 6 months of rough football here for you. I've had almost 2 decades of it,
True,
David. Okay. We're still here. We're still here, okay? So to recap last week, the birdie pick, I picked Wazoo against UCLA. Wazoo was given 3.5 points. I got that one wrong. So I went the wrong direction. For a while, I was 7 over. But then the Eagle pick came into play. Red River Shootout. Dave and I both capitalized on that.
Boom.
We got 2 points in our favor for OU covering a 6.5, which leads me to my double Eagle pick.
Big.
Which was, again, the regression to the mean for Nebraska. One of these was going to hit. They were giving up 3.5 points to play Illinois on the road. They ended up covering and then some, so I got 3 points for that. So overall,
First double Eagle pick ever hit.
Yep.
On Gridiron Golf.
And again, to the point of this game, it's kind of fun because if you hit a double Eagle, I think you can get back in it quick, right?
Massive. You went -4 on the week.
So
have you ever been -4 on the golf course?
No, are you kidding me? No.
Well, I've been +6. I guarantee you I've been +6. Okay.
So overall +2.
You are overall +2.
Yep.
So Casey is +2 for the season. I'm +6. And we're going to do some more picks here in a little bit. But fans of the Hole in One show. Now, fans, we're making picks for you. Let's see how you did. Fans last week were even par coming into the week. You smoked us. You smoked us coming into the week. Missed the birdie pick, Missouri +6.5. Missed the Texas pick, -6.5. And missed the TCU pick, -6.5. Fans had a tough week. The fans had a tough week, and you didn't know it, but we went +6. So now the fans are tied with me at +6 for the season. Woof. And there's our leaderboard. Casey's +2, I'm +6, and the fans of the Hole in One show are +6. And we will go through our picks, but then we'll also make some picks for the fans here coming up shortly. Casey, what was your week? What was your takeaway from last week on the college football scene?
I would say overall, Oklahoma's back.
Yeah, they are.
Defensively, offensively, they looked. I thought basically all game, I thought they looked better in Texas, and I was impressed with Texas going in. I alluded to last week, I think I like OU's body of work just a little better. Competition maybe wasn't as strong as Texas, but overall, I thought Oklahoma and what they did in their games leading up to it was impressive.
You were talking about Michigan. You were right there.
Yeah. Okay. So Michigan, if I'm going to pick a number 1 team in the country right now, it's Michigan. And
I think they moved up to number 1.
Dude, they keep proving it week after week. And I liked the pick from the simple fact that it's a night game. It's at Huntington Bank. It's a conference foe. Traditionally, that behooves Minnesota.
Yeah.
But Michigan did what they did. They just Novocained them, kept stacking, right? And all of a sudden, it's 40-something to 10. It's like, geez, that was the least flashy beatdown I've seen. And that's kind of what I felt about the Nebraska game. They just Novocaine. Next thing you know, it's the game's.
Let's talk about the logo on your shirt, the Bison. The Bison won last week, but lost to USD the week before.
Correct. Yeah, I think this week is going to be a really big game for a lot of people regionally.
The big rivalry.
It's a big rivalry that I think is coming back.
It is. It is coming back.
And it's
all we need is a bottle going through a window, and then we're really dialed in. For those of you who don't know, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's coming back. I think there's a lot to figure out yet in this one, Davey.
They both need to win.
So I couldn't find it on the app here that you and I've been using for these spreads.
Yeah.
But somebody tracked it down for me, and they suggested 3.5 point spread that NDSU's favored.
Yep.
Okay, it's at Alaris. I think that's a really hard game to pick, and not only just based on odds, but seeing a little bit of both team in action.
Not at their peak for sure, but it's going to be a good game. This rivalry. Can you remember this when we were kids? This was nuts. My dad, when I was growing up, was doing the games for the Bison on the radio, and this was a heated rivalry. I mean,
very.
If there was snow on the ground, the other team's fans were throwing snowballs at Pops. I mean,
totally.
He was a target, and I just remember going up to the old Memorial Stadium in Grand Forks and he'd being on this scissor lift, right?
Yep.
And just snowballs, just going, just straight up at it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like 8 years old, right? I'm just absolutely distraught. I'm like, why is my dad getting snowballs thrown at him? I mean, later I would understand why, but that's okay. It was everything. It was the Dakota, it was everything. Roger Thomas, Rocky Hager, But I think you're right. The rivalry is coming back. Obviously now we're going to see it every year. There are a number of years we didn't even have this game.
Right. I think starting in, wasn't it 2004? They kind of mitigate. That's when I think NDSU made the jump. And that's when they, started playing a little bit of a schedule that wasn't necessarily NCC oriented. But leading up to that, and that was my formidable college years. So I remember guys like Kyle Steffes, and Bobby Babich, and these guys that were low, and a ton more. But I remember, and guys for UND, one of my good friends was a linebacker for UND, right? And all of a sudden, these games were coming down to the wire again, and it's still it was still a heated thing that just was truncated, and that was it. Yeah, right.
I remember Chad Stark, Jeff Bentram, Arden Beachy. Obviously, Phil Hansen, those names are etched into our childhood.
Yeah,
and so it's fun. It's nostalgic to see. I want to see a good competitive game and get this back to where it needs to be.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I think I like the Bison. I do. I do. I just they're more seasoned. Obviously, I think they were embarrassed a couple weeks ago at home. They played really well last week, and they're going to go into the Alaris Center and get the win. That's my opinion. Now they're not one of my picks though. They're not one of my picks. Are they one of yours?
TBD here. I'm gonna build this plane as we fly it.
All right, let's start with our picks. My birdie pick this week. I'm going TCU, but wait. BYU is coming to TCU, and BYU is getting 5 points. I love my squad, but I think the old ball coach was in Cabo or sipping cocktails at the Rivercrest pool a little bit too much this offseason. Wasn't doing his work recruiting. A little hangover. He's like, I got my money. I'm going to hang out here with the family and talk about last year, how we did. Yeah, no, you're getting your butt kicked.
Yeah,
it's 3-3 early in the season. You need to figure it out, TCU. And so with that said, I'm taking BYU +5. I'm sorry, BYU's 7-1 in their last 8 games dating back to last year. They ain't afraid of TCU. TCU's lost at home already this year to Prime in Colorado. My birdie pick is, unfortunately, now here's the deal with my birdie pick. I can still root for TCU to win by 4.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
Okay, so my birdie pick is BYU +5.
Okay. I like that. Because you're still getting your boys, but you're giving some points up.
There's a chance.
Right? Yeah.
I got a middle. I have a 4-point middle. My guys can win, and I can still get a birdie on Gridiron Golf.
All right, I have a myriad of 5 games here.
Maybe
I'm going to pick one, yeah. But maybe some of these we don't necessarily want to overlap with our picks that the viewers can maybe take.
Sure.
Okay, so with that being said, let's start with my birdie pick. I'm going to go with Duke against NC State. Okay, obscure
basketball?
Again.
No, I'm just kidding. Duke had a big win earlier this year.
So Duke beat Clemson in week 1, 28-7.
So sorry for Dabo. Look, that guy runs into the stadium.
Who's the game for?
Dude,
yeah. Is it for the players or is it for Dabo?
No kidding.
Who
front runs your players by 2 football fields getting to I hope the guy pulls a hammy one day. I hope everything's fine. I hope he falls down and laughs.
Rock. Just tumbles down that hill.
Why does he run in khakis and an orange shirt? Why is he running in front of his team? Get out of here.
I agree 100%. That's been my issue with PJ Fleck. And
the boat sank last week.
It sank, and I think he's kind of pulled the reins in on that a little bit. But that's always been my rub with him, is sprinting out of the tunnel ahead of the teams with my tie and sunglasses on.
How do you sprint out of the tunnel in front of your team?
Come on,
Dabo.
Okay,
get some khakis.
So Duke, they have a Clemson win. 2 weeks ago now, it'll be 2 weeks ago. I thought arguably they could have really taken Notre Dame down. Notre Dame kind of had a sneaky backdoor cover on that one. And long story short, Duke's favored by 3.5 against NC State, and it's at Duke. Okay, so I like that one. I'm going to take Duke pseudo confidently for my birdie pick to cover -3.5.
Okay, got it. Now that's the thing is snake draft. So you're right into your Eagle pick.
Okay, right into Eagle pick. This is between 2 games. It's between NDSU and UND, and it's between, to keep an NDSU tie, Wyoming and Air Force. Coach Bull is at Wyoming. Wyoming's had a really, really solid start to the year. Wyoming has played Texas. They played Texas Tech, beat Texas Tech.
Love it. Sorry,
and they
Red
beat Fresno
Raiders.
State last week. They beat Fresno State, who's
Okay.
a ranked team. So, in my opinion, 2 really, really solid wins. I have picked Air Force to cover other things with our friends pool, so I'm high on them. But that being said, okay, so it's a 5-1 Wyoming team. They're going to be the away team going to Colorado Springs. Air Force is favored by 10.5 points in that game.
Or Wyoming?
Over Wyoming in Colorado Springs. Maybe it's a suburb, but I'm going to take Wyoming to cover. 10.5.
Absolutely.
So Wyoming plus 10.5 for my Eagle game.
100%.
Okay.
How's that not your double Eagle? Coach Bo will get it done.
Well,
All right, Eagle. It's your Eagle.
yeah.
Okay. So I like that, though. 10.5 at home.
Yep.
Something's interesting there. All right, my Eagle pick. I'm going out west. Oregon at Washington. That is going to be, I want to say a game day is going to be there. Oregon plus 2.5 at Washington. I don't love taking teams on the road, but Oregon's getting 2.5. They looked really good against Colorado. I mean, I obviously love the soundbite in the locker room. I'm taking Oregon for my Eagle pick, plus 2.5 at Washington.
I have plus 3 here. Do you want
All right, but
because I actually highlighted that game.
Please,
Okay.
I'll take it.
According to the score app,
Eagle
is still
Thank you for whoever was at the window and changed the window. Thank you. Eagle pick
Okay.
Oregon plus 3. Oregon plus 3 is my Eagle pick, and I'm going to go right into my double Eagle pick. All right. Lose for Caleb, right? Is that the Vikings' new thing here? I'm going USC plus 2.5 at Notre Dame. I am taking USC plus 2.5. I mean, if you give the Heisman Trophy winner from last year and the front runner for this year 2.5, I don't care where he plays. I'm taking USC plus 2.5 at Notre Dame. That's my double Eagle pick.
I love it. Okay, so
All right.
if you can see this far, of the 5 games that I had highlighted,
Yeah.
4 of them have been picked. 2 by you that aren't picked by me yet.
Okay.
Meaning I think we have parallel interest here. There's one more. We might as well take it just to maybe create some separation. It's NDSU UND.
Okay. We're doing a fourth?
Well, no, I'll pick that one from
Okay.
Double Eagle.
Okay.
Is that all
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Or is that going to screw
No,
things
absolutely.
up too bad? Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to take
Can't
it
break this.
for Double Eagle. I'm going to take NDSU, but they have to cover 3.5.
I like that.
And that way,
like that
I mean,
a lot.
you and I have 3 totally different games.
Oh, yeah.
So we can pick from any of those for the viewers.
Good.
Good.
Speaking of viewers,
Okay.
we're fans of the Hole in One show. Fans of the Hole in One show.
Fans of the Hole in One show. If I'm looking at
This is big,
two
folks.
games
This is big.
out of 3 here that somehow we want to incorporate in their picks, it's kind of hard to shy away from USC and Notre Dame.
Yep.
And or Oregon and Washington. So maybe 2 of the 3 picks want to be that game.
Yep.
One way or the other. I'll tee that up for you.
You got to do UND. You got to do NDSU.
and then I think UND
Have to.
NDSU.
Okay. Are we doing a coin flip?
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
All right. Here we go. Birdie pick, which is going to be NDSU UND.
Yeah.
It's a heads. It's NDSU.
Okay.
Okay.
Viewers get NDSU minus 3.5.
Yep. Now the Eagle pick is either going to be USC or Notre Dame. USC is heads. It's a head. Viewers get USC plus 2.5.
That's Eagle. Or
That's
I'm sorry.
Eagle.
Yeah, Eagle.
That's Eagle.
Yeah.
Now the double Eagle pick. Fans of the Hole in One show. Oregon is plus 2.5 at Washington. Oregon is a heads. It's a heads.
Okay.
They get Oregon plus 2.5. I like
Which was
picks.
actually 3. I gave you 3 on
excuse
that
me,
one.
yeah,
So,
Oregon
and that's
plus
what I still
3.
have. So
Or I'm almost chalk here with the fans of the Hole in One show. I'm with y'all. Cool.
there we go.
Week 3 of Gridiron Golf is in the books. At least the picks are up. This is fun. Are you going to get back to even par? You're plus 2 right now.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Just think
It'd be great.
if I go over par this week, I'm more than 1 week away from getting back to even par. That's tough to take. On my
you go
own dang
perfect,
show,
yeah.
I could just be in the
Yeah.
cellar. Absolutely in the cellar.
It's truly ironic that I'm winning in anything with golf, particularly in your same grouping.
Hey, real quick here, we got we're filming this on Tuesday. The Twins are currently down 6-0 in the 7th inning at home against Houston. Boy, it's fun having the Twins playoff baseball back, huh?
It really is. You and I texted a little bit about this on the side, and to have Twins playoff baseball in the fall they've made the playoffs, but with the evolution of the wild card and the playing games and this, that, the other thing, where maybe they won the 1-game playoff and then went into a series with the Yankees where they just got obliterated. They haven't won.
Over 20 years.
And so for them to win the wild card series, which has evolved and technically be a series, get to now the ALDS and actually win a game on the road. Now this
6-1, 6-1, bottom 8.
Is that okay?
That's what it is right now.
So obviously that's not good, but it does provide the opportunity for another game. I think it's tomorrow. And gosh, if they win it, send it back. Let's go.
So if they if they lose here tonight, now this is going to air. This podcast airs on Friday. If they lose here tonight, they'll play Game 4 tomorrow, Wednesday, and so on Friday they would be back in Houston, right? If they lost tonight, win tomorrow, and then you'd be back in Houston on Friday.
I think you're right, and I think if I understood it right, depending on what happens in the other series, based on regional play, they're either a 1 o'clock in the afternoon slot tomorrow, or it may push to night prime time.
Oh, come on,
if something else happens, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice it'd be nice for nighttime to fill. I don't know if they'll have an issue filling the stadium technically, but
we got a couple buddies there. We got a couple buddies there right now. I'm really jealous. I mean, how fun is that?
Right? Yeah, so
that's got to be a big ticket to get. Well,
it'd be fun to see.
Hopefully, we're sitting here next Tuesday, and they're at the they're in the championship, right? They're in the American League Championship. Hopefully, they can squeak it out here against the Houston Astros.
We'll see. I'm not holding my breath. But
what's up this weekend for you? You got college football, or what's going on with the fam?
Oh, this weekend. Okay, so Nebraska's on bye. That's part of the reason we didn't pick them. I think
give you a breather.
Yeah, give us a breather.
At least they won
after a big win. Yeah,
at least they won. Big win in Illinois.
Yeah,
hey, it's a win.
Hey, we still turned it over 3 times and had 11 penalties. Cool. But they did defensively. I thought they looked good. They did some things offensively that were good. They're slow improvements. They're not market improvements, but they're slow. The turnover margin thing still just is for a guy that's just a fundamental, preaching basics with everything I try to do in my life.
Yeah.
You got to be fundamental and not turn the ball over.
It's coaching. It's coaching.
And so I think they're still correct in that, and we'll see how it plays out here. Their schedule, not to get too off the rails here, but their schedule actually is favorable. They have a bye week, and then they go into Northwestern, but they get that game at home. Mm-hmm. They get Michigan State, who's in coaching transition. They get Purdue, some winnable games.
Glass half full.
So let's see if we can't take a 500 record now, and 500 for Nebraska fans is good at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad, but
get a bowl
that's
game.
Good.
Yeah, get a bowl game.
Keep rolling. So I won't have a game this weekend, but we'll catch NDSU, UND. I actually hope to plan to get out to the lakes and do a little with the weather, get out on the side-by-side with the boys. My wife is going to be running a marathon in Des Moines, Iowa.
What?
So I'll have
marathon?
Full marathon.
Wait a minute. Why?
That's a great question.
That's a long way.
Why would anyone want to run 26 miles?
Wait a second. Let's talk about this. Where is this?
So she was scheduled to run the Minneapolis Marathon a week ago this past weekend.
Okay.
And with the heat and everything, it got canceled.
So she had trained and ready to go.
Yeah, so she was training, and it's a pretty rigorous schedule to train for, and you're really, adept to a certain part of the training process where all of a sudden if the rug's pulled out, it's okay, what do I do now? I'm ready to run a marathon. So either you find another one and adapt maybe a couple weeks of training to do so, or you pull the plug.
It's really not the marathon; it's the training. That's the big hurdle, right?
I think so.
And the marathon is the payoff.
I mean, I don't know much about it because
I don't either. I run if I'm chased, but that's about it.
You see us running, you should probably start running because something's chasing us. But
or if I'm on the clock. No, I'm kidding.
No, so she's going to go down there and run.
Good for her.
The oldest daughter is going to go with.
Oh, really?
And she'll have a little contingent of people there, but I think me and the boys will try to get out to the lake and
just. Did she want you to be there? Did she want you to come?
Well, I'd like to be there, honestly, but all of a sudden now it's Des Moines. We just took him. Traveling with younger kids is not easy. You know
it's
that.
not. No, it's not. Are we there yet? No, we just left.
You're
Are we
constantly.
there yet? No, we just left.
And your schedule when you get there, it's like, hey, we're here. We're going to stay up later. The re-entry into society and reality, the ensuing week is always it's a Bearcat.
You do.
So in lieu of doing it 2 out of 3 weeks, we're like, I'll take the boys.
Just looked as serious as a heart attack. It's a Bearcat and getting back, re-entering society.
I mean, it is just brutal.
And you just go to Dairy Queen, things get weird. There's sugar. And
diets are off. You're staying up late. Movies, just schedules are upturned.
Got you. So you're on daddy duty, but for the betterment of the family. So the re-entry into reality is not as tough.
Yeah, hopefully. And
well, she's going to be on the mend. That's not easy to run 26 miles.
No.
And then sit in a car.
Exactly. I think it'll be a couple-day recovery for mom.
Sure.
But
does she have a goal? Has she ever run a marathon?
She has not.
Does she have a goal in mind other than finishing?
She has an idea, I think, in terms of how you translate your mile pace to, what that means for an overall time.
You see the guy just did like 2 hours and 6 minutes?
In Chicago. At least he was telling me about it. I think it's the world record.
That's crazy.
I think it was his 3rd marathon ever, and he set a world record.
I'm like, you sure that guy didn't come out of the crowd like 300 yards down the road? Because he was sprinting. I'm like, there's no way you did that for 26 miles.
It was like
sure did.
Like a 4-minute and 40-second pace or something like that.
And I love that. Marathons there's like stations with beers. Isn't there?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, people are serving beers and like cocktails, or at least that's what I've seen at the Fargo Marathon. Like, I think there's adult beverages along the way, and I'm thinking is that real?
I could get on board with that, but I mean, make it like a walk.
I'm going to go down the road.
Again, and it's timed with the people that are actually participating. Yeah. You and I could go walk and watch my wife and your wife run, but we can just hit the beer stations, and it's like incremental, and all of a sudden we're finishing at the same time.
Yeah, can you walk the marathon and just it's kind of like a booze cruise or a bar hop? What's it called?
Yeah,
when you go
pub crawl,
it's just a marathon walk.
But it coincides with marathon walks that they're running through Fargo, and we finish at the same time. Well,
best of luck to her. That's going to be fun. I hope that she has a lot of success and finishes and everything, and they're healthy and everything. That's a physical. That's a feat, right?
Yeah.
What's in her training runs? What's the longest training run she had done?
I believe the longest is right around exactly 20 miles, give or take. And she was going strong. So
yeah,
all inclinations are, I think if you make it that far and feel decent, I think signs point towards.
My wife Kelsey's done like 15, 16 half marathons, and she wants to get back into it.
Yeah.
We're busy having children and, taking care of kids, but she wants to get back into it. A big sense of accomplishment, and I could see a half in my future, maybe, with the wife. 26 another level though.
Yeah. Well, good for you for even committing.
Well, what do you do? So we're 40, right? When's your birthday?
November. I'm 40.
November what?
21st.
Okay, you'll be 41 November 21st. I'll be 41 December 9th. What do you do to work out at 40? Because you gotta be just a little careful. You got work. If you're gonna work hard, you can't just be like, I'm gonna go work out for the first time in 4 months and I'm gonna send it.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that anymore. You work into what you got. You work into heavier weights. You work into a higher heart rate. What do you do?
Yeah.
You work out a hell of a lot more than I do. I know that.
I've been, the bug kind of got me to, dating a long ways back, frankly. And so I've been into working out. Now my workouts have changed, no doubt. They've become a little more cardio oriented, even if it's like a strength train. It's more, hey, let's see how many reps we can do at this lighter weight. Okay. But then I'm going to power walk a lap, do the next set, So I maybe a little higher heart rate oriented, less strength training oriented, but I've never gotten into running as my cardio.
No.
Like I can get on a treadmill and walk or get outside and walk forever, and I like it a lot. It just takes a while.
Yeah.
Right? So if I can couple up the two where there's some strength training, there's some walking, maybe some
how many days a week?
More. I try to go 4 or 5.
Dang.
Yeah, try to go 4 or 5.
So it's part of that's in your routine.
It's part of my routine.
Morning?
In
morning?
Lunch.
Really?
Lunch, yeah.
That's not easy to do when you're in the middle of the day. You got all these things coming to just say, nope, dump, stop.
Yep.
I'm going to go work out. That's not easy to plug out, get at. Well, okay, 7-1 Houston,
7-1.
whatever.
What I found, honestly, is it's a great recharge for me. It's okay, I'm going to step away. I'm going to go work out for, maybe 45 minutes is all you get. And then you come back and it's like, all right, I'm ready to go. That's
serious discipline. That is serious discipline to be able to unplug from your day and go back in and actually take the time to work out and mentally unplug. That's not easy to do, because what I'll get going to work and things coming at me from every different direction, and it's just like, oh, okay, it's 5:30. Like what time is it? I thought it was 1. No, it's 5:30. Like things, I don't even know. I'd have to set an alarm. That takes discipline to be able to do that. Good for you. I would have to do it early in the morning. So when I actually get into a routine of working out, first of all, unfortunately, it's mostly when the golf season is winding down, right? Like this time of year, I'll have the first tee doesn't open until 8:30. Next Tuesday, the first tee opens at 9. I can go to yoga at 5:30 in the morning and be home by 6:30 and I'm dialed. Like if I work out in the morning, I'll have a great day. I know it because I'm out ahead of it. My body feels good. I drink a ton of water, and then I don't eat like crap because I don't want to waste the morning workout.
Totally.
I'm motivating myself to go to yoga tomorrow morning. Now, if anybody wants to diss yoga, go do it.
It's
not easy.
It's
right?
hard.
It's not easy.
In some of these classes that they offer, like the YMCA and so forth, the body pumps. I mean, you want to work out, go to one of those.
Yeah.
That's one that is very humbling to try to. In fact, I haven't gone back since
I've been playing a little golf here the last week, and I'm incredibly sore. And I got to go to Solid Core. Have you ever been to Solid Core?
I have
these vanity workouts. No. I mean, they work. Like you go to Solid Core for 45 minutes, you won't be able to get out. I get out of bed. I roll out of bed with all intentions of standing up, and I just go boom right to the ground.
Totally.
There's no chance. I'm dead. I'm done for like a day.
Agreed, man. That's what I'm saying about some of these classes that you go to, whether it be Solid Core or body pumps. Like, you want to lift 5 pounds, go ahead, do it a million times and move around while you're doing it. And that'll humble you real quick, you know? So,
well, you start these little movements like, okay, move your left foot a foot. You're like, oh, this is a big deal. 30 seconds later, you're like, oh, no, can we get on to something else? I'm out of here. Well, that was fun. We got a kind of random topics, but that was a good time. Good luck to Lisa and her marathon.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. And good luck to your Nebraska Horn Hustlers. I hope they have a great practice this week, and the boys have a good time going out on the town in Lincoln because they don't have to play football.
Let's develop some freshmen over the bye week somehow, right? They had freshmen that looked good on Friday. Well, let's see if we can parlay it into the next week.
All right. That was fun.
Thanks, Dave.
Folks, that was Gridiron Golf. A lot of fun on this podcast. We will see you next week.